Are you in the market for a quality new or used car, truck, or SUV? Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen once again here to a Virtual Racing Network. We have 18 drivers in a pit road right now getting through a driver's meeting. They'll be back onto the track momentarily, but before we get into all of that, of course we need to go through the sponsors here for tonight's race and tonight's broadcast. Of course, as always on the racing side of things, trying not to cough there and laugh all at the same time, we have your main sponsor, that is Global Building Contractors, as well as iRacing Drivers World and Gold Cube, who were the sponsor of the Truck Series that is no longer due to lack of participation. So unfortunately, Tuesday nights are no longer truck racing here on the channel, but we'll fill that void here shortly, I'm sure. And of course, on to the broadcast side of things for 2019 and actually going into 2020 now, the following partners make it all possible: Northwest Racing Series, Walls at Beard Co. Beard Balm, RaceOnTexas.com, World of Thunder, Hanover Wrecker Service, On the Edge Motorsports, your official Wicked Energy Gum retailer, Huffman Designs, RACECORE themselves, and newly coming on board, of course, that is Extreme Sim Racing. You make sure that you check these guys out. We'll talk about them here for a little bit here in a moment because, of course, it is the official countdown sponsor, and we have just about 7.5 minutes left to go on the clock before we get into all of the qualifying and racing stuff coming up here in just a bit. But we do have a newcomer in the booth here tonight. He's also part of that Extreme Sim Racing family, and that is going to be Brandon Young in the booth with us. So Brandon, welcome to the booth here for the first time, and kind of almost like a ceremony. We got Extreme Sim Racing officially on board. Obviously, they're one of your sponsors too, and you get to be in the booth the day we debut.
Yeah, man. What's the chances of that?
Definitely, it's an oddity. You don't typically get to see that kind of combination happen here. Obviously, you got some of your teammates out in the race tonight. Two of them, of course, running the Extreme Sim racing out there. I believe Justin Winters and Sterling Smith are going to be running them. Cody Young, I'm not sure what he's running out there tonight. But good thing is we did find out on the joking side, we finally got that hideous paint job fixed. So there is no more of that in this race. It is gone. If I can keep that cough away. But being you'll be the race kind of expert here tonight, what can we expect from this track? It's flat and fast.
It's flat, and it's going to be heavy on the brakes. Whoever can save their tires and be consistent with the brakes, I think, will come out on top.
Well, tonight I definitely expect to see some cautions, some of which will just be racing incidents, because it's flat track and it's so fast like that. Some of these cautions, I'm not going to lie, we try not to sugarcoat things here. I think some of these are going to be driver-induced, just over-driving it, and some of them forcing things that shouldn't be there. Again, we try not to name drop as much as possible, but we have been watching practice here for the last about hour and a half or so, and we have seen some people, again, and he's one of the fastest in here. I'll tell you this, we won't name drop, but he is in the top 5 right now in the standings in practice. And he has been taking it 3 wide, and enough so that race control has noticed it as well. So if we see those 3 wide moves, I don't think it's going to work out very well for somebody, because once you get that car 3 wide, these cars tend to slide up this track a little bit, even though there's not much banking, and we're probably going to see a big one that takes out, I would say, at least 8 to 10 cars.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Whoever's on the bottom and does it hit the braking just right and they slide up, it's going to take the other 2 with him.
Yeah, it's just a product of the way this track is, and this track's very finicky as it is already. You definitely have to be very careful to run a perfect line when you get around this track. And it's almost like two different surfaces. You have the real dark up top and the real light down bottom. And then you come to pit road, and it's a whole nother ballgame down there as you transition racing surface yet again. So, uh, you talk about how important pit road is. As a driver, actually, that has probably dealt with it, just how difficult is getting on and off of pit road here in iRacing. It's not like a lot of sims where you can just go in there and it takes over the car for you.
No, it's not like NASCAR Heat where you just hit pit road and it already slows it down and drives you to the pit box. If you don't hit the brakes right coming off of forward to hit the pits, you can get the speeding penalty. You can lock them up and slide, or you can just miss it altogether.
Yeah, definitely. And we're checking in the chat, and we got Mike Neal out there, obviously rooting for his son out there. So Mike and Sean English, Mike Bum gonna crush you. That is never been truer words right there. um, but anyway, we're gonna leave that where it is. But he is the fastest right now here in the session. Mikey Neal Jr. right behind him. By 0.012. So there is not a lot of gap separating first and second right now.
No, there's not.
And Sterling Smith right up there too, 0.193. So less than 2/10 away from those top two. So again, I expect to see those three battling out pretty good. Hopefully we'll see somebody else up there, some different drivers. Jack Feller's top 8 here in qualifying. Definitely no slouch here at this track either. We always tease him all the time, but he's actually pretty fast.
Yeah, he's the last couple of weeks. He's definitely improved from where he was at the start of the season.
Yeah, he definitely has. And of course, speaking of improving, use the perfect word there. Trying to keep this cough away. We want to talk a little bit about improving your sim racing experience. Of course, if you want to do that, we just picked up Extreme Sim Racing as a sponsor here for the channel. And also, it's not a huge amount, but it is something, and every little bit helps. If you go on their website, extremesimracing.com, and use the coupon code VRN, all lowercase, you will save 5% on your order. So, 5% is definitely better than nothing. So go out there if you're looking to get a sim rig. Brendan, I believe you have one as well. So definitely some nice equipment out there to go pick up. And again, you can save a little bit of money just using VRN as your promo code.
Yeah, I got the Cockpit X from Extreme Sim, and it is amazing. I've got the mouse tray and the keyboard tray, and the keyboard's right here. I don't have to reach down for it. The mouse is right beside me. The carbon fiber seat is full of cushions. I mean, it's just as comfortable as you could ask for. And you can the wheel tray itself, you can move it up to your chest or further away. I mean, you just got adjustment for everyone.
Yeah, it definitely is so good that they won't even let him race anymore. He had to come in the booth with it. So that's how good it can make you. But all jokes aside, they are great equipment. I've went and looked at it myself. Obviously, Brandon owns one. We got 1 minute left on the clock here before we move into qualifying. So we're going to step away. When we come back, it will be time to get down and dirty here at New Hampshire with 18 drivers taking to qualifying and only one EOL, and that driver's not here. So we will not have any EOL. So anyone that doesn't qualify will be on their own recognizance, and that's I don't think that's a word, but anyway, it'll be of their own doing. So we will be back here in about 30 seconds with qualifying. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we got Brandon back in here with us. So qualifying is underway. We had to reset the overlays just for a moment because we had a name not showing up. Obviously, nobody's put in a time yet, so we're not missing anything. While we get this all set up, that's we gotta do it here now that we got two people in the booth. The question is, of course. How many cautions do you think we'll have here tonight, and who is your pick for the win, Brandon?
Cautions, I'm probably going to say 6 to 8. And I'm not going to be biased here at all. I'm going to pick Sterling.
Totally not biased at all in the pick, and it happens we're on Sterling anyway on the track. I'm going to say, knowing what I've seen in practice, I'm going to say 8 or 9 cautions. Just again, hopefully we don't, but the way practice went, people were being a little aggressive, so I'm gonna say 8 or 9 cautions, and I'm gonna go the underdog. I think I'm gonna go with I don't know who I'm gonna go with. Crap. No, I'm gonna go with Jack Fillers just because I can.
That's a good pick.
Hey, he's fastest right now here in practice, 30.750.
That's a good lap.
A very good lap for him. Sterling Smith. Wow, my voice is not wanting to cooperate today. 30.811 as Bryson Parker runs a 30.687. So a good lap for him as well. But times will start to come in. I think that's going to be a pretty safe time. Jack may be starting outside row 1. He could be starting inside row 2. We'll see. James Lorello currently sitting in the 4th position, make it 5th. As Michael Gonna Crush You All Bumgardner is in 1st now with a 30.640 with a pretty fast time, but still Bryson Barker up there running a good time, and we still don't have Mikey Neal putting in a time, and we know that he was 2nd fastest, so he's going to be fast as well.
I'm curious to see if Mikey can improve on his practice lap time, because it looks like no one has really improved other than Bryson.
Yeah, we'll definitely see, and we're seeing an echo. No, dang it, RN. I believe that is coming out of your mic, Brandon, but
Probably so.
I think it's when I cough and I get loud, so we'll try to refrain from coughing here tonight. But yeah, Discord tends to have a little bit of an echo. We prefer TeamSpeak, but some leagues that use Discord, so that is what we have to use. So it's unfortunate, but definitely prefer the luxuries of TeamSpeak.
Mikey Neal's on track. He's running the middle groove and swooping it down on the low exit on 4. See how his lap time goes.
Yeah, we were talking about is he runs a 30.555, just totally crushing the time.
He killed that one.
Yeah, he definitely killed that one, and we talked about it earlier. Before you were here, we were talking to Cody and Justin and them, and it seems like the middle line is really the preferred line around this track.
Yeah, if you run the bottom, like I say, you gotta hit the brakes a little bit more harder, because you need to slow up just a tad bit more than that guy on the outside to make the corner, and then of course the outside always has the run off of the corner.
Yeah, definitely. We got another one there. So Nick Robbins, if you're out there watching, still let us know. Is it when I'm just talking alone, or are you hearing me just every once in a while? We may have other issues other than that, but I know there's a slight echo every once in a while. Is it just that, or is it like an actual echo that is worse than I'm hearing? If there is, yeah, shoot us a message and let me know if that is the case, if there is something going on with the actual restream or OBS. We may have to look into that, but it looks like... Yeah, here I can hear myself cough, but it looks like, for the most part, I think everyone that's going to qualify has.
Yeah, it looks like they're done. And Cody Young there with a blistering 31.5.
We'll see. A little off pace for him, but we'll see if he can pick it up. But it's not going to be in qualifying, as it is over. And what we can do real fast here, if you want to switch over to TeamSpeak real fast, we'll see if that gets rid of any of it.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Alright, we will get him over here momentarily. He's going to switch over. We're going to try using it. Meanwhile, while he's getting ready, we're going to drop down to the track with these drivers. As again, we're going to pull him down over there. And this should fix some of it, I think, as it's time to go through your Wells Beardco starting grid here on road number 1 is going to be the 8 of Mikey Neal Jr. and the 97 of Michael Bumgardner. The row 2 is going to be the 84 of Bryson Barker and the 32 of Jack Fellers. Row 3 is going to be the 17 of Sterling Smith and the 45 of Brian Jones. Row 4 is going to be the 13 of James Zorello and the 56 of Mike Watts. Row 5 is going to be the 4 of Justin Winters and the 24 of Cody Young. Row 6 is going to be the 52 of Thiago Vieira and the 81 of Carlos Maciel. Row 7 is going to be the 80 of Rafael Trindle and the 66 of Deco Gamirez. Row 8 is going to be the 6 of Matthew Ellis and the 47 of Trevor Graffam. Row 9 is going to be the 83 of Leandro Vieras and the 77 of Justin Starr. Or Spears. Wow, Justin Starr not racing Justin Spear. For row 10, we got no row 10. We have 18 drivers on call. And looks like Brandon has a lost connection here to TeamSpeak. So give us just one moment. We'll see if he's still here with us. Brandon Young, you got a copy?
I'm here. My whole thing died. I got to re-bring up the sim and everything.
Well, as soon as you do, we'll get you over in TeamSpeak and see if that fixes that problem. But I believe that is the what they're hearing, so we will definitely check, and we're getting reward reports.
I'm in TeamSpeak now.
Alrighty, we'll switch over there real fast as we're getting ready to take the green flag. Alright, there, green flag is out, and we are racing for the first time here tonight, as it is going to be Mikey Neal Jr. out front. No surprise there, he's going to be fast, but Michael Bumgardner right there with him. Jack Fellers hanging on, and so is the 84 of Bryson Barker. And hopefully we still have Brandon here with us.
I'm here. I had to bring the sim back up.
There we go. That's right. He is having to get that up and running. Again, I do believe we'll have a little better luck here. We'll see. I can still hear it a little bit, but regardless, we are going. Yeah, we did lose it for a while. Unfortunately, we lost Brandon and we lost it, but the race is underway while he gets into the sim. Mikey Neal Jr. out front. Sterling Smith hanging into the 4th place here at the moment, as well as Michael Bumgardner and Bryson Barker. Bumgardner really trying to run down Mikey Neal Jr. here at the moment. They're going to go to the inside. He's going to slide up. Oh, and he almost makes contact with Mikey Neal Jr. And right there, he does make contact, gets Mikey Neal a little bit loose. That's what we were talking about. You cannot drive into these corners too hard. It will slide up. Mikey Neal Jr. hanging on to the outside, and he will lead that lap. Let's go ahead and bring up your main bars. We're 4 laps in so far. Caution free. And
Mikey Neal into the wall.
Yeah, Mikey Neal Jr. hard into that outside wall. Let's go back and take a look real fast as the caution does come out and see what happened here as we go to the aerial coverage. I have a feeling the 97 had a play in it. And we're about to find out. They come down the stretch right there. Mikey Neal leading the race still. And, yeah, contact between the two. That sends the 8 of Mikey Neal Jr. into the wall. Again, we've seen this repeatedly over and over again in practice. And it happens here in the race. You've just got to be extremely careful coming through these corners.
Yeah, it looked like Bumgarner there got a little tight and couldn't turn her down and went right up into him.
Yeah, definitely exactly what happened. Again, trying to keep this voice going. It has just not been good here today. I'm not sure what's going on. But we are under caution here for the first time, so we are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, those lights will be off, and we'll be going racing to start about lap 8 here in just a few moments. Alright, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And again, we've pretty much figured out where the little bit of echo's coming from. We do apologize for it. We're going to have to give Brandon a true broadcaster's headset before it's all said and done. But on a side note to the chat there, yeah, keep it nice and clean. You're going to have arguments there, I'm sure, but we do not allow anybody to openly bash another driver. Alright, it looks like we're just about ready. Green flag is coming out. Pace car dives off. And there it is, green flag back in the air. This time it's Michael Bumgarner out front, followed by Bryson Berger, Sterling Smith, Brian Jones, and Trevor Graffam. Mikey Neal Jr. still on the lead lap, though, but all the way back in 18th to make it 17th now. As he's going to have his work cut out for him. But if the trend continues how it was there on lap 5, I have a feeling he's going to have plenty of time to do some strategy to get himself to the front as Bryson Barker smacks the outside wall.
Yeah, if Mikey Neal can just keep a cool head, he's really, really good at this sim. He can just work his way up to the front, and he'll be there in no time.
Yeah, he definitely will. He'll be able to work his way up there, no problem. He's fast, and it'll just take patience is all it's going to take to work your way through this field. You can't be too aggressive. Again, we've seen a lot of aggressiveness going on in practice, and it's kind of showed its head here in the race itself, so we're hoping that doesn't come out to play. But that being said, we're back here with Cody Young, Jack Fellers, and the 56 of Mike Watts, and they're already trying to take it 3 wide once again.
Yeah, that's a pretty intense battle back there.
Yeah. Oh, and the 56 overdrives it and smacks the 32 of Jack Fellers. Somehow both of them driving in the right direction. So I do not know
I do not see how Jack kept that straight.
I don't either. That was some good driving on both of their behalfs to keep it going in the right direction. But I think the 56 of Mike Watts is going to get the worst end as he's going to go from about 7th to 9th, and now he has Raphael Trindle and Justin Spear breathing down his neck to get by him as well. That's our front, probably 6 drivers didn't pit under that caution, and only one of them's been passed, and that's Cody Young. He lost 1 spot to James Zarello, so we'll see if that trend continues. But Brian Jones trying to see what he can do to get by Michael Bumgarner, but so far the front 3 are pretty much spread out about the same distance from each other.
That's what you want to do early on. You just want to single it out, keep your head straight, and just put some laps down before you start making your moves up to the front.
Yeah, it's way too early in this race. We're not even a quarter of the way in this race to do anything crazy, and you pointed it out during caution that pretty much the top 10 almost have damage already, and this technically I don't really consider it short track racing, but it is just at a mile, so it's not really short, but it's not a big track either. So this is one of those tracks where fenders are going to get bent and tempers are going to flare, and hopefully we don't see any major retaliation. We really don't see that too much in this league. I hate to name drop, but a prime example of that when it rarely does happen was the incident, I believe, at Martinsville last season with Trevor Graffin when he got mad and just drove it through the fields on a restart. You rarely see something like that, but it's because tempers get flared at tracks like this.
Yeah, it will happen from time to time, but I haven't seen it get that extreme as of yet since I've been in this league.
Yeah, it very is rare, but it can happen. And, especially, we got the 24 Cody Young trying to go off-road here as he's going to drive through the grass a little bit. I'm not sure if he had any help prior to that, but he does have some damage on the left or right side of the car.
I think he's been practicing off-road trucks this week, looks like.
Yeah, he's apparently getting the 2 confused as he's trying to do it here as well. 14 laps in. We're on lap number 15 right now. And there's the one we were talking about before. That is the 8 of Mikey Neal. He has heavy damage because of that contact between him and the 97. But he's worked his way back from 18th to 11th. And he gets by the 24 there. And that will put him, in 11th. So now he's going to try to work over Carlos Maciel, Raphael Trindle, Mike Watts, and Jack Fellers, who are all kind of bunched here together. So maybe he can get a 2-for-1, maybe pick off 2 of these guys at one time.
Yeah, once he gets that damage fixed, he'll be a little bit quicker than what he is now, but still Mikey Neal is normally quicker than the field as it is.
Yeah, he definitely is, and I'm keeping an eye on chat just to make sure it does not get too out of hand out there. And, just to comment on a little bit, definitely the 8 is no powder puff, and the 97 cannot be the greatest of all time because that's me. So you cannot be a GOAT if I'm the GOAT. So, anyway, back to the front here again. Michael Bumgarner out front, but I really think Brian Jones has started to reel him in just a little bit. We're going to keep an eye. Let's put the top 3 up on the screen here for the fans to watch. 0.816 seconds separating first and second. Then it's another 2 seconds to third place. So that gap is now 0.666. So I really think Brian Jones, at least at certain points in this track, is starting to reel in our leader. And then at other points, he slows down as Bumgarner hits the wall by himself. Now that gap is going to be a lot smaller.
Yeah, Brian Jones is right there now, a couple car lengths back.
Yeah, he is reeling him in, and you hate to say it, but your own worst enemy in a track like this can be yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can very easily do mistakes like that, get into the outside wall and overdrive it. When you overdrive it like that and go to the corner, if there's somebody there, you're going to hit them, they're going to hit the wall, you're probably going to save it a little bit, but then you just have an angry driver at you. Whereas if you just hit the wall by yourself, then you have a torn up car and you're angry at yourself. So either way, somebody's not going to be happy, whether it's you or another driver. But it's going to be interesting to see with the damage he has. This isn't a super speedway, but will it be enough that it'll allow the 45 of Brian Jones to get up there and get to him as we go on board with Bumgarner? And that's a lot of right side damage.
Yeah, it's a lot for this track. But Brian Jones seems like he's got his rhythm down pat, and he's starting to reel him in a little bit more.
Yeah, he definitely was reeling in. Meanwhile, Bryson Barker falling back just a little bit there. Let's go a little further back here to Trevor Graffam in the 47, even though the car I do not believe has a number on it. I'm not sure why, but Sterling Smith back there as well as the caution comes out. And it looks like it's going to be Jack Fellers going around. Let's go see what happened to the old Jack here as he is backwards on the track. And I totally did not try to rhyme that. Let's go back and see. We're going to go to the aerial view brought to you by Sames Ford out of Corpus Christi, Texas. He was battling with Mike Watts, I do believe, and Mike Watts just pounding him into the outside wall.
Yeah, Mike Watts just clobbered him.
Yeah, we did. We'll take another look at that and see. Let's go to Mike Watts if we could and go on board with him here to his helmet cam. And he's turning. He is going the right way. And we'll see. We're going to keep an eye on that steering wheel. I have a feeling it overdrove. And indeed, he just overdrove it. His wheel was completely turned to the right. He just drove in way too hot. And, well, that's ends up what happens. That's how we talked about. You're either going to be mad at somebody, or somebody's going to be mad at you, or you're going to be mad at yourself. In this case, Jack Fellers isn't going to be happy with him, but that was pure racing incident. He never turned that wheel to the left. Yeah, he just overdrove it.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where if you're on the inside and you don't hit that brake, you're just going high.
Yeah, and getting pointed out there by Mike Dill, I did pick Jack, and Jack is getting wrecked. So apparently, I still have that curse where I can't pick people. So we are under caution here once again. This is our second caution, and we are about, well, we'll go green just past the quarter way of the race. So we will step away to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, as that was probably the fastest caution I have ever seen in my life. The lights are off, so of course that means we're going racing here momentarily. We'll bring it up. You're watching the RACECORE Xfinity Series brought to you by Global Building Contractors live on the Virtual Racing Network. Pace car will be making its descent to pit road here momentarily. There it is right there. And green flag is back in the air. We are racing once again. And I have to point out, it is awesome to see the actual flagman waving the green flag this time.
Yeah.
A awesome new little feature there, and we'll see. Now that we're kind of all reset here, will Brian Jones be able to reel in your leader, Bryson Barker, is still there as well. So the top four, actually five, have not changed since that caution.
Bryson seems to have a little damage on his right front as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many people up there that don't have some damage at this point. I will point out here that they are going single file pretty quickly compared to the last restart.
Yeah, they've singled out pretty quickly on this one.
Yeah, we'll see if that stays that way. Thiago Vieira, I think, gained probably the most there. So we'll pull up his information. Started 11th, he's in 7th. But he really hadn't gone anywhere on his own. Pit stops definitely helped him, as he had a solid pit stop. Just about everybody did. Mike Watts had a 40-second pit stop, and Mikey Neal Jr. 51. So Mikey Neal did fall back a few spots, but he got some of that damage repaired, and that is going to be crucial out there on this track.
Yeah, that'll definitely help him out. Oh, we got a caution off of 2.
And it is Mikey Neal and Mike Watts, the 2 we just talked about, being involved in an incident. So let's go take a look and see what happened here on the track. As once again, we'll go to that aerial cam brought to you by Sames Ford. And I'm not sure what happened here. The 8 goes into the corner. And he gets it a little loose on that corner, but I don't think that's where it happened. And right there, it looks maybe like the 56 came down a little bit. I'm not sure.
That's how it looks to me. The 56 come down a little bit on the corner and spun itself out over Mikey's nose.
That's what it was looking like here on this. And we're going to try a secondary angle here, see what we can do. We'll go to the spotter cam. Let's go back to the spotter cam, see what we can see. And see if we can get a good angle on it here. And yeah, angle. Depending on what angle you look at, it depends on what it looks like. But from aerial view, I agree with you. It looks like maybe the 56 came down a little bit. Obviously, the 8 was going to be going up, but that is the line that you're running coming out of the corner into the straightaway, apexing the corner. That is how you get around the corners from low to top. So. It's just the way you get around any racetrack for the most part. So, contact between those 2 brings out the caution, and we'll look at that real fast. That is our 3rd caution for 7 laps, and we've only had 1 different lead change, and that was when the 97 took it from the 8, and we are under caution once again. So, we may be on track here to exceed both of our guesses here for cautions.
Yeah.
Checking in on chat as well, but as always, we're under caution, so we're going to step away. We'll be back when those lights go off. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, the lights are off on the pace car. Bumgardner out front. He hasn't had any competition since the 8. We'll see, is the 45 or the 13 of Brian Jones or James Zarella going to get him? As we do have Bryson Barker back in 14th place, as he took a 32-second stop. I'm wondering if he got a speeding penalty. We'll find out here shortly. It's like they're flip-flopping out there on us. 1 second they'll go on a restart single file, and now we got some people going 2 wide early in this one. As it looks like Justin Winters gonna slide up, and the 66 is going to clobber him there just a little bit, and the caution is out once again already involving the 66 and the 4. Let's go back and see what happened again. Our friend here in the blimp cam is going to let us see the perfect scenario here. I know the 4 of Justin Winters got into the outside wall, but I don't know if that had any bearing on any of this. He gets in it right there, and I think that was kind of separate. The 66 drives it in a little hot and slides up into the 4.
It looked just like wrong place, wrong time. The 4 was overshot the corner and was about to hit the wall, and he slowed up to avoid it, and the 66 did the exact same thing.
Yeah, a big wrong place, wrong time. Obviously, neither one of them did anything wrong other than driving in a little hot. And if the 4 hadn't been there, the 6 wouldn't have hit him. And then, I mean, just the perfect storm there. So it's unfortunate. But both of them taking some damage from that. Brian Jones is the race leader. It's for the first time. We're going to see Michael Bumgardner come down pit road a second time. So he'll relinquish the lead this time, and he's going to fall way back to about 12th or 13th.
That's going to be a big come up, especially with all these cautions coming out right now. I'd be trying to avoid every one of them that I could.
Yeah, I don't know. I would almost take the old tires. I don't know if I want to be out there. We're talking 32 laps completed. And let's take a look at the cautions here. 10 of those under caution. So you've only actually ran about 20 laps on your tires. So I don't know if I'd come down. I would have stayed out. I don't know if it'd been a winning call, but it would have been a less damage to my car probably call.
It would have helped you out from getting rigged up in one of these cautions. Or I'm curious to see if anyone's been taking 2 tires tonight as well.
Yeah, I'm looking here so we can keep an eye on this. We actually have that, and it looks like Mike Watts in the 56 back in 7th place is the only one that had a 9 or an under 10-second stop, 9.1 seconds. Everyone else 14 to 15 seconds. So looks like he is the only one that took 2 tires here on this last stop.
I would have probably risked it and took 2.
Yeah, I'm with you. Tires are going to be important, but I think at any track position is key. But especially the way they're driving out there, being as aggressive they are, and even if it's not being aggressive, it's just not knowing the perfect line around here, whatever it may be. They're getting into these corners hot. They're sliding up the track. They're taking people out with them. I want to be as far away from the middle and back of this pack as I can. I want to be out front, and I want to be checking out from this field, putting the key on the counter and say, I'm out of here, and check out, because I would much rather check out of that hotel than find out the sign's falling down and it's really the Heartbreak Hotel.
Yes, the top 5, when they single out, they seem to pull a little bit on the rest of the field, and they're pretty much safe. But from 5th or 6th on back, it's any man's call.
Yeah, it definitely is. Those lights are off, though. We're about to go racing. We're on the backstretch. So, the moral of the story here, I'd rather be out front. I don't care about tires. Unless I got like 60 laps on there, I'm going to stay out front, and I'm going to drive the wheels off this thing till they fall off. And, use it as an experiment. We're early in this race. If you start getting past, then maybe you need to come down and get those tires. But like I'm with you. Take 2. Experiment with it. We'll keep an eye on Mike Watts to see how it works out for him. And we'll also keep an eye on Michael Bumgardner, who's back in 11th place right now as the green flag comes back out. And we are racing once again. Mikey Neal already taking it a little bit there. He may have got a bump, but he is going to get back in line. And Trevor Graffam and James Zarello side by side. And here comes Sterling Smith as we got contact once again. And it's going to be James Zarello that is into the outside wall.
Looks like Bumgardner got in some of that too.
He did indeed. Took the 4 tires and is stopped on the track. So let's go back and take a look here. Again, this track's so small, the easiest view to look at is the aerial view. And you're watching the 13 up at the front of your screen to see exactly what happened. Ooh, and Sterling Smith gave him a shot to the back bumper. And Bumgardner, yes, got some heavy contact from it as well. As I believe it's, I can't remember his name, that's bad. But one of the announcers here at Race on Texas, he gave a shot to the shorts, as he would say.
That's a good one right there.
I think it's Zach Clark that says that one, to be honest. It's either Zach Clark or Nick Robbins, I can't remember. I do believe it is Zach Clark that says it. But either way, one of them getting credit for that one. Let's give it to both of them. But the caution is out once again. The question is, you're the racing side of this. Are you coming in for tires or fuel? We got 2 drivers with 14 laps on their tires. Everyone else about 8.
Like I said earlier, it's early in the race. I would take 2 right sides and see what it does, just to experiment for later in the race. Because sometimes that 2 tire fall off isn't as bad as you think it is. But I would just try to experiment it to see how it would help me later in the race, and if it didn't, I'd take 4.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like you say, we're not even at the halfway point. Take some experiment, do something. You gotta do something to try out there. But we'll see. We got some drivers in the back. It looks like everybody's going to take 4 tires. If you're already in the back of the pack, you might as well take the 4 anyway. You're gonna be back there when you come out. So we got right now, Jack Fellers is currently on pit road. He's out of this race here at the moment, and he has officially packed it up onto the trailer. We'll see. I'm not sure what the 66 is doing. He's having to back up on pit road, so he is coming out now. So we'll see maybe what that was about later on. But Mikey Neal Jr., he's currently in 10th place. So he's trying to work his way back up. Michael Bumgardner back in 15th, and that's going to give the lead to Brian Jones now.
Here's to see if he can pull away like he did last restart. He got a really good start and pulled away 3 or 4 car lengths. See if he can do it again.
Yeah, he definitely needs to get a good start here. I've been broadcasting this league, and I still really don't know what the official rule is on it, but if I'm the 45, as soon as that pace car's off, I want to get as big a jump as I can. It's a short track racing, and I want to run it like dirt track racing style. As soon as that pace car's off and I am within the restart zone, I want to be hammered down going. I do not want to give these guys a chance to catch up to me.
I want to check out before I get to turn 1. That way, if they overshoot it, I'm not going with them.
Yeah, the rule when it comes to dirt track racing and short track racing in general is you want to check out before you get wrecked out. That's just how you go. You check out before you wreck out, and that's what he needs to do here in that 45. Again, get out, get some clean air, get away from this pack. As we've already seen, it doesn't matter if you're the front, middle, or back. There's a chance you're gonna get a bump.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time before you're going to get damage to your car. Looks like the only car I can see that doesn't have any damage is Sterling Smith.
Yeah, that's about right. I don't know if the 45 has any. I don't see too much, if any. So we got the 45 to 17 that look pretty healthy, but there are a lot of cars around them that have damage. And it may not be a lot of damage, but it's still damage that's going to affect that car in some way. Again, it's not a super speedway plate racing, so aerodynamics not so much. But how much that car will suck down to the track and allow you to get around the corners, that'll be crucial. And speaking of crucial, the green flag is back out, and it's crucial we get some green flag laps in to really see who's going to surface to the top once again. As we are racing here once again in the top 3. All got a really good start. Like back behind them, they're too wide as here comes Thiago Vieira trying to get by Bryson Barker. And so far, those two side by side, and Thiago Vieira slides up. Yeah, it was very close. And that's what we're talking about. He slides up and almost clips the bumper, but he does a good job of actually keeping it off of him. It may not always end that way. It's just so tough to get around these corners.
We got a caution off of 1.
Caution off of 1, and we're going to have the 24 of Cody Young involved. Let's go back and take a look as he's whipping it around and trying to get it going back in the right direction here. And we'll take a look to the aerial view. We got Michael Bumgardner behind him as well as Justin Winters. And we'll take a look, and Bumgardner just gives him a shot to the shorts. 2 shots to the shorts and spins him around. 2 shots there from the 97. That's very well. We do know the 97 is on probation as well. So that very well could be a season-ending move for the 97, as that was 2 deliberate shots to the back bumper.
Yeah, he just straight up murdered the 24.
That's definitely not going to set well for his racing career here, and I can promise you this, the 97 will not be on the Christmas list for the 24 of Cody Young.
Oh no, definitely not.
Well, we are going to step away, so hopefully I can keep my voice. And we're going to see who comes down, who doesn't. We'll recap that here in a minute. And we'll be right back when those lights go back off. All right, we are back hydrated and ready to go. And we just have to say one thing. Sean English in chat, knock it off. That's all I got to say about that. If I have to tell you again, I will just ban you from chat. And Austin Heel, your message was blocked, but you can kindly go away as well. We do not allow that kind of language here. That's why it was blocked. So you can do what you told Mikey Neal to do. That being said, the lights should be going off. They're double file, and we are getting ready to go racing this next time by. Again, 6 cautions so far. We're just looking at that. It's going to get very interesting very quickly. I think the later we get in this race, we're going to start seeing these tempers come out a little bit more.
Yeah, it's going to happen for sure.
It'll be interesting to see. Right now, as they're getting ready to take the green, your top 5 are Brian Jones, Sterling Smith, Trevor Graffam, Bryson Barker, and Michael Bumgardner. So this could get a very interesting. Jack Feller's the only one out of the race. Everyone else on the lead lap. So we do not have anybody that is not on the lead lap right now.
Sterling's quietly working his way up to second. I'm curious to see if he'll get a good restart right here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. He's gonna have to stay. You know, there's a kind of a sweet spot there where you can see the front of their car and watch them go.
Yep.
You want to be right on them, but you don't want to beat them to the line either. You're gonna black flag. So, it'll be very interesting to see. I'm not sure how you confuse Facebook and YouTube, but okay. Interesting there. But the green flag is out, and we are racing. And Sterling Smith got a good jump, and he was easily able to tuck right in behind the 45 of Brian Jones. Meanwhile, behind him, Trevor Graffam and Bryson Barker side by side, and they're scraping the wall. I believe that was Bumgardner that scraped it, and he's going to fall back from 5th to 6th.
On that restart there, it looked like Trevor Graffam gave the 45 a shot in the rear, and his bumper's jacked up now.
Yeah, it is jacked up good. And these guys, they're talking about 3 wide back here, but there's just not quite enough room for James Zarello to get in there. But here comes Bumgardner. He's going to take it to the inside and try to take it 3 wide. And we saw this in practice, and it didn't work out for him then. The question is, will it now? And he's going to get lucky as they're going to settle it out on the top side, and he's not going to have that opportunity to have to find out, as these guys are beating and banging a lot here early in this race.
Yeah, I think most of it is like we said earlier, is the caution's out now.
Yep, caution is out for the 47 of Trevor Graffam, as I don't think there was any contact. We were watching it live, and we will go around and take a look here at the replay. But there was no contact there, I do not believe, between him and James Zarello. We'll take a look as he goes in a little too hot. the aerial view just so we can confirm, but I didn't see any contact between them.
I didn't see any. I think he got up in the loose stuff and just got loose off the corner.
He did give him a shot in the pants a little while ago, but that was not what caused him to spin. And he actually gave him 2 different bumps to the back bumper, but when he went around, he did not go around. The only thing I can think of, maybe he bumped him enough that it pushed him into the corner a little harder than he wanted to go. But other than that, he didn't actually hit him in the corner. It was all down the straightaway. As we are back live, Brian Jones still out front under caution. He now for the 7th time for 22 of the 49 laps completed. We are under caution once again. So far, I believe you said 6 to 8, 6 to 9 cautions?
Yeah, that's what I said. I think we're going to overshoot that by a long shot.
Down in the 8 to 9 range, so both of us are still within our range. I'm still above, actually, right now. But just at the halfway point, if it continues at the rate it's going, that would be 14 cautions before this race is over, so...
It's definitely doable. I can see that happening.
It definitely is. You're always going to have those certain amount of cautions where, it's just driver error. They make a simple mistake. Then you add in those driver error where they're just being too aggressive mistakes. And you add those two together, and like we talked about earlier, a short, flat surface. These flat tracks like this, they're just ridiculously fast.
Yes.
And they leave little room for error. And when you make an error, you better cross your fingers. And, I don't know what that little guy's name was off that movie. But anyway, we'll just skip going that. It was some movie I watched. But anyway, you got to do something because you really just hope you don't wreck it. And unfortunately, there's a lot of them that have here tonight. 2 of them that are clean are out front, though. They got a little rubber on them. But I say that, Brian Jones actually has quite a bit of damage to the back. So the cleanest car out there in the front looks to be the 17.
I don't see any damage on that car. But he's been one of the guys that's kept it single filed up at the front of the race since it started. So he's pretty much kept it away from everyone.
He definitely has. He's kept it clean. However, this race has not been green, but majority of it technically has. But for the most part, we have not been green. We seem to get those cautions quite frequently. We'll probably do about 10 laps, and we'll see another one. So the question is, who will be involved in the next one? As Bumgarner's sitting in 3rd here at the moment, trying to work his way back to the front. Mikey Neal Jr. in 7th, so both of them are making their comeback. We'll see green flag is out. Here you're watching again the RACECORE Xfinity Series presented by Global Building Contractors live here on Virtual Racing Network. We are the official Sims division of RaceOnTexas.com, and it is been an interesting race to say the least.
Very interesting race.
Oh, you never know what you're going to see when you come to one of these races. It really is just like a real race. You go out there, you never know what's going to happen. The good news is these guys don't have to pay, thousands of dollars to repair their cars if they break them. However, they do have to pay in reputation on here more than anything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And we got Nick Robbins. I'm not sure if he's out there watching still, but he tells us that does belong to Zachary for that saying. He just has permission to use it. So that was the verdict on there. And again, they really don't have a whole lot to do with the sim side of stuff here. But big shout out to Race on Texas. Chris David, Harry, Scott Bargoff, Nick Robbins, Valerie Wells out there, all the guys and girls from Race on Texas. It's awesome working with them. We've got a lot of things planned here in the near future, some of which does involve sim racing. Speaking of Extreme Sim Racing coming on board here 2 days ago. It's awesome to have them on board here as a sponsor for us and a sponsor for your team.
Yeah, Extreme Racing is an awesome sponsor, especially with these cockpits that they gave us. I just love mine.
Yeah, they are awesome. We got cars going around. The question is, it going to bring out a caution? And so far, it does not, as the 80 of Rafael Trindle gets back onto the track. The car's going every which direction, but no caution comes out for it. We'll see here. We have the 97 of Michael Bumgarner getting around the 17. And a little shot to the shorts there again. Copyrighted phrase. No, I'm just kidding. It's not copyrighted, but still. A 17 gives a bump to the 97. Just let him know he's still there. It wasn't enough to do anything. Wasn't intended to do anything. But, you do that every once in a while. You give those guys a little bump there. Let them know, look, you got by me, but I'm still here and I'm not going anywhere.
And Sterling Smith is notorious for that. He doesn't take crap off anyone.
No, and you can't. Yeah, you really can't here. We try to make this as realistic as we can to the real thing, and you wouldn't do it in real life, and you don't want to do it on here. People will walk all over you. But Brian Jones hanging on to the lead right now by 0.483 seconds. Will he be able to maintain that lead? And the question is, when or if he gets up there to Brian Jones, Michael Bumgarner does, will them two get together in any way and give the lead to Sterling Smith? Because I can tell you right now that 45, knowing him as good as I do, he used to race in my own league, he's not going to hand that lead over to the 80 or the 97.
No, he's not. That 97 is going to have to work for it.
Yeah, he's definitely is. And to answer Jason in chat, I'm not sure where Jameer is here tonight. He is just not racing tonight, so he is definitely missed. He's a very fierce competitor, very good driver, clean driver at that. So I'm not sure where he is here tonight. But that lead is steadily shrinking there, 0.249, so 0.2 taken off in the last lap. Watching that and this battle right here as James Zarello gets by Sterling Smith, and Mikey Neal Jr. is going to try as well.
Sterling's starting to fall back quite a bit. I bet he's probably burned his tires up when he was fighting for the lead that couple laps.
Yeah, he definitely has there. And speaking of the lead, as we go back to that, they're coming to the line, and it's going to be separated by 0.233 that time. Now 2.16. The gap is getting smaller, and it's smaller. And this is what these guys behind there, Lorello Smith and Neal Jr., want to see. They want to see these two kind of battle it together. If they do, that's going to allow them to kind of reel them back in. So this is good news for them if these two can sit here and battle with each other for a couple of laps.
Yeah, they're just enough back where if they start to battle for 5 or 6 laps straight, they'll catch them pretty quickly.
Yeah, James Zarello gets by both of them. Mikey Neal does get by Sterling Smith to take 4th position away, putting Sterling Smith to 6th. And we're checking out throughout this field. There are little battles going on, but for the most part, they're a single file here.
And that's what you want to see. You just want to get single file, run some laps out, avoid those cautions, and end this race.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder if race control has gone over the radio and told them to calm down. They may do it. Sometimes they've been known to do it. Go in there and tell them, look, guys, settle down. You're getting a little crazy. But we'll see. 0.166 seconds separating your first and second place right now. Bumgarner, he caught him, but he just hasn't been able to get by him. He's been keeping him about 0.2 of a second away.
And Brian Jones is running that preferred line, that middle groove, and then swooping it down off the corner low. That's where you want to get, and Michael Bumgarner is just not able to get underneath him.
Yeah, and we've talked about the way this track is. He could very well get under him, but if he does, he's going to slide up into him. That's just what's going to happen. Because in order to get under him, he's going to have to overdrive it into the corner.
Yep.
So one of the two things are going to happen here between the 45 and the 97. One, you're going to see the 45 maybe make a mistake. He'll get by that way. 2, actually 3 things. He's not going to get by him at all. Or 3, he's going to have to overdrive it into that corner. And when he does, he will slide up into the 45, and he'll either have to let off the gas and lose a ton of momentum, or he'll take out the 45. One of those things will happen. It's just the way racing at this track is. There he is, going to possibly dive it into the corner that time. And we'll see what happens. Again, he had the lift there a little bit because he was over. He just can't carry that momentum in there, and it cost him. He went down to 0.266 from 0.120, so he lost a little bit of momentum and a lot of time on the track.
Watching these two battle for the last couple of laps, it looks like Bumgarner is driving it way deep in the corner and braking really late. And he's beating him into the corner, but Jones he's got that preferred line. He's just getting the run off.
Yeah, he definitely is, and everybody slides up this track. It's the way it is, and you got to run that perfect line if you want to be able to get by him. Meanwhile, I will say we are about 30-ish, 23 to 29 laps. I'm not sure when it officially started. Maybe less than that. Maybe about 17. But regardless, we've had a fairly long stint here of green flag laps.
This is the first for this race.
Yes, this is the first time this race we've had a long green flag run, and I'm not even sure what the fuel mileage is here for this race, but I would imagine they will have to come down and pit at least once here before this race is over. And never mind, caution coming out, and it's going to be back here for Rafael Trindle in the 80 machine. So let's go back and take a look and see what happened. And not sure. Got the 24 of Cody Young behind him and the 66 in front of him. Neither one of them really close enough to do anything. And it looks like the 66 and the 80 collide together. And somebody else getting involved in it as well. Let's go back and take another look here and see. But I'm not sure. I think the 80 was coming up or the 66 came down. We're going to see if we can get a better angle here. But the two collide together on the track.
Looks like the 80 was going underneath him and just overshot the corner and hit him. And they clipped the 6 going into it. And then the 24 had nowhere to go. And looks like he got DQ'd as well. He's not on my screen anymore.
Yeah, to be correct, he just overdrove it, and right there gets clobbered by the 83 as well. And yeah, the Cody Young and the 24 no longer in the race either. So several cars, I guess, getting beat up here tonight. As we go back to our race leader here, as we're live, and everybody's coming down pit road this time.
That does not surprise me, but this late in the race, I wouldn't 2-tire it, I'd 4-tire it, just in case you do get that long green flag run like we just had.
Yeah, it definitely is. Let's see, everyone comes down, and we'll let you know how those tires do play out. 2, 4. I'm sorry, I think I'd go with 2. It's just, I would be at the front of this pack so bad right now.
Yeah, but if you can take 2, but if the other guys take 4 and you get 6 to 8 laps into that run, or even 10, you're just going to fall off.
Yeah, see, I'm banking on the fact that we won't make it to 10 laps. So
doesn't look that way.
And we haven't done it so far, and these guys have to start realizing that. Like, look, we ain't completed more than 15 laps on a green flag run, so all I really got to do is hold these guys off for that long. And if these tires are junk, I can always get 4 the next time. But looks like everyone is out, and everybody took 4 tires. So no 2-tire stops this time for anybody. As of course, we want to remind everyone, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button on the YouTube or Facebook side of things. Hopefully you like the race, you like the broadcast out there. We try to cover it. This week we have a very interesting event, to say the least. We do not have a whole lot going on the schedule. We are off Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We have the Schaefer's Oil Modified Touring Series and the Northwest Truck Series on Thursday, and then we're back out at Monarch Motor Speedway on Friday night, off Saturday, and then we come right back here next Sunday. So Just not a whole lot going on.
Sounds like a busy weekend for you, though.
Yeah, definitely going to be a busy weekend, and it's going to be interesting up front here as Leonardo Vieres, I believe that's how you pronounce it, did not come down pit road, and we were about to say Thiago Vieira, I believe it was, didn't come down either. However, he's coming down pit road now in that 52 machine. So your leader with 26 laps on his tires, and he was involved in that last incident where he hit the 80 after the 80 was coming down the track. So he has fresh damage and 26 laps on his tires, and most of that was from that last run that we just completed. So if I'm these guys behind the 26, I'm going to have to be on high alert.
I would not want to be the 97 right now because I'm curious to watching this restart. I want to see if he spins his tires, considering they're that old.
Yeah, that's what I'd be scared of. These tires are going to spin. He's going to have to get a perfect start. And perfect starts are very hard to do when you've got nearly 30 laps on your tires and damage. So, excuse me, we're about to find out if he can do it. As green flag is out in the air, and Michael Bumgarner, you can see him already trying to look to the inside. He's going to make it 3 wide for the lead, and right there, the 83. Well, he just became breakfast and lunch for the 97 and the 45, and he's about to be dinner here for the rest of this field.
He's holding everyone up.
He is indeed. Right, again, you know, he made the call maybe to lead a lap, but right now the 47 of Trevor Graffam is going around. Caution is out, and I can guarantee you he's going to have a few choice words for the 83, like, why did you stay out on the track, and that was dumb, or, you know, something like that. But something along those lines. Let's go back and take a look here. Trevor Graffam going around. Again, we'll go to the aerial view, and everybody's having to check up right there. He checks up, and the 81 technically got into the 47 and spun him, but I can't blame the 81 there for any of that, because the 83 was on old tires, and he checked out the whole field, and that's what caused all of this. So, you know, while the 83 technically may be credited with the caution, the 81, it was definitely the 83
It was
bottlenecking it. So
the 17 and the 4, I do not see how they got through that. The 4 might have touched Trevor Graffam as he quit spinning, but if he got clear of it, he's really lucky.
Yeah, and to answer the question, Mikey Neal Jr. in the 8 is in 4th place here at the moment. We'll see. I don't think anybody's going to come down unless you're at the back of this field right now.
No, it's late as it is now. I would stay out because track position is key at this point.
It definitely is. And it looks like we're going to have about, less than 25 laps. We got 25 to go at the line right now. So less than 25 is going to be about 23, 22 laps to go when we get the green. So we're going to step away, get hydrated one more time. We'll be back when the lights go out. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sorry I made your stitches hurt, but we're glad we're giving you a good laugh out there. We try to keep you entertained, and to answer the question, will the 97 have any penalty/suspension after the conclusion of this race? Most definitely. I would imagine so. He's caused a few bumps out there, a few cautions, and he is already on probation, I do believe. Again, this is all what we've kind of heard around the grapevine. But we are pretty certain that due to an email, he is on probation, and he has caused a few cautions, so there will at least be an EOL probably in his future. We'll see what else becomes of it. But what we do know is coming out is the green flag, as there it is right there. Green flag is waving, and we are racing. Cody Young, unfortunately, out of the race. Mike Watson, Jack Feller's out. We have one car on pit road, 10 laps down. That is Rafael Trindle. Leandro Vieira is 2 laps down. Everyone else on the lead lap with just 13 drivers, and we're single file as Bryson Barker trying to make a move to the inside.
Are you a lap ahead of me or behind me?
I don't know.
They just did 80 on mine.
Oh, apparently I'm a lap behind you. Anyway, I forgot to go back live from the replay. That's a rookie mistake on my behalf. But we'll go to the front there. So, my apologies. So, yeah, I'm curious what he got stitches for as well. Hopefully everything's good. Mikey Neal Jr., though, I'm glad we went back to live when we did, as he is on the inside of Michael Bumgardner in that 97 machine. He's going to try to make a pass here soon. Meanwhile, Brian Jones still up front with 20 laps to go. Going to be 19 this time by. Mikey Neal needs to get by quickly so he can move up to Brian Jones, but it's not going to be easy.
Mikey Neal was on the 97's bumper. Looks like he tried to give me a little love tap in too there.
And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, that is just part of it here. Sometimes you got to give a little love tap. Hopefully, you don't want to spin them, but you do want to maybe rattle their cage a little bit. Obviously, an Earnhardt Sr. moment there. Rattle their cage. It's definitely part of racing. You don't wreck them, but definitely a part of it. Let's go back a little bit here as we'll check in with James Zarello. Sterling Smith still back there with a fairly clean car. A little bit of right side damage, it looks like, but still a solid top 5.
Yeah, he's been running good recently.
He has been running good. It looks like Extreme Sim Racing doing him loads of good there with that new paint job there. Mikey Neal Jr. trying that inside one more time. Can't make it work. 18 laps to go. So he's going to keep digging on that inside. He wants to try to make something happen. But so far just hadn't been doing it. And again, we talked about it. His options are very limited. You could send it in, but you're probably going to hit the 97 and bump him out of the way, or cause both of you to get into a wreck, and you're definitely not going to catch the 45. So your options are just so few on a track like this.
And considering that both cars have fairly heavy damage, I wouldn't risk it at all. I wouldn't want any more that I've already gotten.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to either. And again, we don't know what their incidents are here. We know they have a limit. Isn't it 17's the limit in the race? And I'm not sure what some of these guys are at, but the way their cars look, they got to be fairly close to that limit.
The 97's got to be fairly close.
Yeah, they definitely have got to be very close to 97. Mikey Neal Jr.'s got quite a bit of damage. He may be somewhat close as well. Again, that's the thing. You can see a lot of damage and not necessarily a whole lot of incident points, or it can be the complete opposite. You may have very little damage and a lot of incidents, so you never really know how it's all working out. But a single file here for the last little bit of this race. So far, just not what I expected.
I expected it to be packed up and beating and banging in those last 15 laps or so.
That's kind of what I was expecting as well. And we'll see. Michael Bumgardner has started to pull away a little bit from Mikey Neal Jr., but he's catching Brian Jones. And like we talked about earlier, catching and passing someone, totally different things, as he caught him before but couldn't get by him.
Yeah, Brian Jones kept that preferred middle groove, and 97, he'd get underneath him, but he couldn't get that run off because he was too low.
Yeah, it's just it's totally different. It's two different things to catch someone and to pass someone. It really is. And we'll see if he can do it. We'll keep an eye on the lead, but we're also going to try to keep an eye on these guys a little further back here as well. And let's go back up there. Thought he was going to try to make a pass. He was on his bumper, but couldn't do it. And he is right there.
Yago Vieira, he's fairly far back considering where he used to be running. He's normally up in the top 3 or 4.
Yeah, he had a lot of damage on that car earlier. Looks like he's got some of it cleaned up. Them guys working hard in the pits to straighten the fenders back out on that car and get him a decent finish. We'll pull his stuff up here. Started 11th and 7th. That's right where he was last time we talked to him, but he has been further back in the field as well. So he is definitely not in his normal element closer to the front of this field, as we now have 12 laps to go. And Mikey Neal still trying to hold on to that third place. He's got nobody trying to challenge him, but he wants to get up there for that lead. As ever since that contact, he just hasn't been able to get back.
Looks like he's slowly but surely starting to catch 97 again.
Yeah, he very well could have made just a little slip up. Again, if you go into these corners too hot and you have to slow down, that time you make up going in hot, you lose that and usually then some, trying to woe it up in time to not get into the wall. So you end up losing more time. You can catch somebody, but you just kind of have to make up what you lost.
Mikey Neal is also really, really good at not using up his tires. I'm curious to know that if he's just laying back a little bit, let these guys use their tires up, and then 5 or 6 laps to go, he just makes his move up there and catches them.
He is that. Him and Jameer are really good strategy guys. Sometimes Mikey's strategies don't always work out for him, but he does plan out very well. The only time I've ever seen him not plan something very well was when he thought a race was like 10 laps longer than it was, or 10 shorter than it was. But typically he is really good. For being as young as he is, he's good at planning, and he will strategize a race like nobody's business. So definitely something to watch for us. You're right, I think he's starting to catch him, but so is Bumgardner. He's catching Brian Jones. He's all over his back bumper right now.
He is right there. All Brian Jones has to do is make one slip up, and the 97's by him.
Yeah, and honestly, they're close enough right now. Brian Jones made a slip up. He may collect the 97 of Michael Bumgardner with him as well. As Bumgardner's going to dive it to the inside. He slides
drifts
up
into him.
Slides right into the 45, and incident points out of the race, saving the 45 of Brian Jones somehow. The 97.
Here comes Mikey Neal for the lead.
So many things going on there. The 97. Oh, the 45. Make a little contact with the 8 there. Maybe trying to slow him down just a little bit. So just to recap what happened there. The 97, he did that gutsy move that we were talking about. He sailed it on into the corner, licked the stamp, and sent it. Well, he sent it right into the 45, hit his incident cap limit, DQ'd from the race, cost the 45 a little bit of time. Mikey Neal takes the lead back. That's where we're at now with 7 laps to go.
Mikey Neal, I hope he saved his tires levels. He's going to need them because James Zarello and Brian Jones are right there with him.
Yeah, that was definitely... I didn't expect it to go that way. And I expected the 97 to try to make a move. And as we said about 50, 60 laps ago, exactly what I figured would happen happened. He gets into the 45. I didn't expect his incident limit to be there at that exact moment, as... Heartbreak Hotel there for the 97, as he went from battling for the lead to 14th position.
He must have been sitting at about 15x because the contact didn't look that intense. It must have been only a 2x, and that was enough to get him out of here.
Yeah, it definitely was. And to answer the question there, Sean, the incident limit is there to keep it clean racing, and it is set at 17 limit, which is usually 1 to 2 points per incident. You do that 1 to 2 times or divided by 17 will let you about know how many incidents he was involved in. and he hit his limit. This is just, again, it's just there to strictly keep the racing clean. And if you hit it, you get DQ'd, and that's what happened. But Mikey Neal once again out front, and we're going to have 4 to go. This could be good for him because Brian Jones and James Zarello are now battling for second.
Yeah, Mikey Neal is checked out for the moment. 13 in the 45 on any last resort at catching him. They just need to stay single file, but I doubt they do because there's almost no chance they can catch him unless he makes a major slip up.
Yeah, and all 3 of these cars have major damage, whether it's the front, the back, the side. Something on that car is broken. So the crew's going to be working on them late tonight, early in the morning. But again, major damage for these guys. So
looking at Mikey's car, looks like it just left a war zone.
yeah, it definitely does. Is Mike? My little famous phrase there. It looks like he went through a minefield, and that's what these cars look like out here. They're beaten and battered, and we'll go on board with Mikey Neal so you can see. We'll go up to Mikey Neal. All right, there you can see the whole front side on the right is pushed in and up. The left side not quite as bad, but you can see there's a gap between the hood and kind of where the I don't know what you'd call that, flaps things are there. So there is a lot of damage to his car. Brian Jones has caught him, so has James Zarello, but it's going to be 1 lap to go. White flag's going to be in the air next time, so Mikey Neals only has to do is hold these guys off for about a lap and a half now.
We have a lap car up in front of Mikey Neal. I hope he just moves out of the way.
Yeah, that would be very bad if he didn't. And I don't know if they're going to catch him here. That is going to be the 77 of Justin Spear. They're going to be catching with 1 lap to go. White flag is in the air. We have 3 different cars up front right now with a lap car coming into the picture. And this could get very interesting. And Justin Spear doing the respectable thing. He takes it down to the bottom and gets out of the way of your race leaders not to interfere with the race. And your race winner is going to be the 8 of Mikey Neal as he comes from the front to the back and back to the front. You want to talk about a real goat on the track? There you go right there, the 8 of Mikey Neal Jr. going from first to last and back through the field here to win tonight's race.
Mikey Neal, that was just an incredible comeback. He got in 1 wreck, I think, and it avoided everything else and just was there at the end and made his maneuver past him.
Yeah, that was just what a race. We'll definitely be talking to him here in a moment. We'll go ahead and put your running order on the screen. There's your top 5. Going to come and take a picture. And there you have it. We're going to be talking to Mikey Neal Jr., Brian Jones, and James Zarello here in just a moment. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in your post-race show. We have your top 3 drivers in the booth with us, and we got some good questions for them here tonight. It was a very, very interesting race, especially for the top 3 here in the last 20 laps. And finishing in third place here tonight, that is going to be the 13 of James Zarello. First off, James, welcome to the booth once again here tonight. And just give us your thoughts overall on the race, and what were those last 20 laps like there, as you're sitting in fourth place and you get a third due to the 97 getting the DQ here with incident points.
Yeah, I was waiting for a long run to come because I was a lot better on the long run than on the short run. And then once I saw what the 97 was doing, I thought for sure something was going to happen up front. So I tried not to get too close, and I couldn't get by when Mikey got by Brian. So yeah, it was good racing at the end with those 2 other guys, and wish it would have went longer. That was good racing right at the end. Best racing of the night.
It definitely was. Coming into a track like this, it's very, excuse me, off in there, little short banking. It's flat, it's fast. Did you expect to see long green flag runs or a lot of cautions? What was the mindset coming into a track like this?
Yeah, you never know with this league. Sometimes we have really, really long runs, and I thought there might be one tonight. But once the caution started coming, it was tough to get one together because those restarts were so tough. But you really just had to roll the corner here. I was trying not to downshift like everybody else was, just to save some tires, but it didn't end up helping me because we didn't have a very long run.
Well, definitely it did not have a very long run here. And, of course, the last question before we get to your sponsors there, of course, is, what's the most important, especially the way this race went with the cautions? We saw every once in a while we had 1 or 2 people take 2 tires out there. In your opinion on it, was it a tire thing? You wanted those fresh tires, or was track position more key here tonight?
Yeah, track position was definitely important. Once I got spun out there in the middle of the race, I just needed to do anything to get back up front. So I ended up taking 2 tires, and it really didn't make a difference. On the left side, didn't wear very much. So track position all the way for tonight. It was you don't want to get caught up in the mess.
No, track position we figured was key, and we confirm it there. And of course, we know you got some sponsors and shout-outs, so who would those be for that third place finisher tonight?
Yeah, thanks to Justin for continuing on RACECORE and the sponsors, Global Building Contractors, and Alex Upman Designs. Just thanks to you in the booth, too. Appreciate it. Can't wait for next week.
All right, well, again, congrats on the third place finish here tonight. And, of course, that brings us to our second place finisher, someone I'm quite familiar with. Again, used to race in my own league. And that is the 45 of Brian Jones. And, we're not even going to talk to you for hours about the whole entire race. It was flat. You hung up front for a little bit. We want to talk about the questions everybody out there is wanting the answers to. You come down here with very few laps to go. The 97 just licks the stamp and sends it right on in. Bumps you. You luckily save it. He gets DQ'd from the race because of it. If he hadn't got DQ'd and continued that trend up the track and got into you a little bit further, do you think this race could have ended worse for you?
I don't know about worse for me. He would have probably blocked the track and Mikey wouldn't have got past him. I don't really know, but I was kind of surprised that he made his move with like 9 or 10 to go. I thought he'd wait till maybe the white flag to lick the stamp and send it, but hey, 10 to go, he kind of caught me off guard. I was kind of prepared to block that low line and let him have the outside, but he caught me off guard, so he got the inside.
Definitely it came in there. You got lucky, though. He ended up hitting the incident limit when he hit you. So he didn't get to hit you too. He didn't really hit you that hard to begin with, but he didn't get to push you any further up into the track, possibly into the wall. So you didn't lose quite as much. Had we had maybe a green-white checkered, we could have regrouped or something, or maybe 5-10 laps extra on this race. To regroup. You think you could have made a charge there to try to get by Mikey Neal for the win?
Probably not. I was kind of just... I don't know if I was even a top 5 fastest car out there tonight. I just kind of, looked my way into first place and tried to play the pit strategy where I would come out in first place, and I guess I'm lucky to even be second.
Well, they say it's sometimes better to be lucky than good, but I say you put yourself in that position, and then luck came your way. So skill and luck coming into play here for a solid second place finish. And we know you got a sponsor on the car, and some shout-outs to who those would be for that second place finish.
Yeah, I want to thank Justin first off for having a great series, and also want to thank Global Building Contractors, Gold Cube, Huffman Designs, iRacing Drivers World, and of course Jalopnik.com.
All right. Well, again, congrats on the second place finish, and that is going to bring us to our race winner, and that, of course, is the aid of Mikey Neal Jr., and we're going to hand it over to Brandon to take a word with him.
Mikey, you got a copy, bud?
You betcha, man. Woo! Finally did it, man.
Man, you got spun out there like 2 or 3 laps into the race. After starting on the pole, you go straight to the back, fixing your damage. You avoid 2 or 3 wrecks. You caught up into one. How did you do it, man?
Well, after the first wreck, it kind of bummed me out because I knew I was gonna have a great car tonight, and hit the wall, knocked the toe out. Felt like I had a steering offset of about +10, which means that the wheel's really far to the right. So, and I had a little bit of engine damage. I was down probably around 50 to 100. So I was very skeptical. I didn't think I would be able to get all the way back up there, but I got my damage repaired. And like I said, luckily we missed some of those wrecks. There were a lot of wrecks tonight. And, this is a hard track, and especially for me tonight, just because the toe's knocked out. And this is a flat track, so you're turning a lot. So I was turning a little bit more than everybody else, and I just kept my hopes up. And then I knew when I pitted, I at least was going to have a chance to get up there. And when I got up into third, I fell into battle. And, sometimes you got to wait, and sometimes you can't really drive it in that hard, and that's what happened. And, that's really unfortunate for Brian, because I think Brian had a great car there at the end. His car was pretty much untouched. So he definitely had a lot more power and could turn better than I did. But when the chance opened, I had to get ahead of the 45, and Brian knew that. So, we had some nice little friendly contact, but that was just because I knew I had to do that to win the race. And, I tried my hardest, and Brian had a great run there at the end and almost got me. But luckily, that was the end of the race.
Right there at the end when the 97 got into the 45, you were probably 5 or 6 car lengths back. Were you saving tires to let those guys race it out and try to catch them, or were you just couldn't catch them at all?
No, so a little bit later into the runs, actually the car started to get a little bit loose just because the track was very hot, about 122, 125 degrees. And so with my toe knocked out, I'm turning a lot more, using a lot more tires. So at that point, I'm just trying to stick with them. And I was able to stay around 0.8, 0.7 behind them the whole time. But the second the 97 got DQ'd and the 45 slowed up, I knew that was going to be my only chance to get ahead of them. So I did everything I could. I gave them top 2 lanes. I had the bottom 2 lanes. And we definitely merged lanes. But like I said, Brian's a great racer. And he knows what it means to win, and especially when I haven't won in a long time, and I've just tried my hardest to get it.
Well, man, you sure drove it tonight. I know you got some shout-outs and stuff you want to give, so you can go ahead and give them, man.
Yeah, I got to thank iRacing Drivers World, Global Building Contractors. Thank you guys so much. I also got to thank Gold Cube. I also got to thank Huffman Designs. They do a great job. I also got to thank VRN. Thank you guys for broadcasting every single race. I got to thank my boys back over there, even though kind of the same team. I got to thank my boys over there at BS Racing. Awesome job for them tonight, and I'm glad that I was able to get a win, at least for us. And I got to thank my mom, dad, and other family watching. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching so much. And I know my dad was cheering me on there. He's texting me, telling me to get my butt up there, and I did. So, and also got to thank all the viewers for watching. And also congrats there to the top 3, Brian and James. They did a great job tonight. But we got the win, man. Finally.
Yeah, you did.
All right, well, that was your race winners. We're going to go ahead and get the stuff off your screen here for tonight. That, of course, will do it here for tonight's race. On behalf of all the sponsors and everyone here at VRN RACECORE, we hope you have a safe rest of your night, and hopefully your Monday is fairly decent as we are going off. We are off here from broadcasting till Thursday night, so we will see you then. And until then, have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you Thursday night.